afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, ImperialDane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here with an exciting, riveting 1 vs 1 on Semoisky Winter. With me, your host, ImperialDane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland, Defender of the Faith, God, Emperor of Mankind. Setting is 1944, somewhere in the Ardennes. Panzerdivision under command of the ever clever Hauptmann ImperialDane here charges forwards versus the south. We got VindictaL fighting for the Americans, Freedom, Democracy, the 3rd Armored Division. He's going to meet here for Heavy Cavalry, the double rifle start, versus me with Grenadiers 74-2 in reserve. We got Encirclement Doctrine, Jaeger Infantry, and Mobile Defense with machine guns, StuG, and Panzer Grenadier Bulletins versus all infantry there for VindictaL. Pioneers moving straight for the fuel point. MD4 can rush here for the house to occupy it that way, at least initially. Grenadiers going to sort of grab the territory in the rear. And VindictaL here will move ahead swiftly for America. Liberty. Rielson's going to rush for this point here. I'd normally expect sort of move here, but still, even then, the reason I'm sort of digging in here is because there's the possibility that VindictaL might just try and rush me here. Of course, this is where I'm going to focus on. Normally in Semoisky North, I tend to focus here because, well, I do feel like this is not a really good position to fight from. Second Grenadiers got their round for the German army, the Panzerlehr. Poor Jürgen there gets shot by the M1 carbines. Rifleman following up here, falling back towards the MD42, moving a bit westwards. Grenadier continue to grab territory there in the rear areas, and then they go over something up MD42 for some reason. Being a bit late to deploy there properly, and the rear is going to get behind the Heavy Cavalry. That's going to counter fire from MD42, but due to the positioning, will not get suppressed. So I'm going to rush the Pioneers in there to deal with that. Second Grenadiers got around because the German army, the Riflemen continue to apply pressure to the Pioneers. And the negative color takes some more damage there, or with less than half of the rear themselves taking some heavy damage. They go pushed away. And there you go, Riflemen spotted by the MD42 and are the next targets. Grenadiers squad number 2 moving up here. We got Riflemen, they got sandbags here by the southern fuel point. But here the assault on the northern fuel point has failed, repulsed by the mighty German army. Grenadiers moving headed just to check there's no other rifles immediately following up there, so I don't want to push my machine gun up. But on the other hand, if the coast is clear and there are no Yankees, and Basil stops grabbing the headset wire, then we can move ahead here. Also wiring off a bit here to ensure the Americans don't go for it again. Mortar following up there for VindictaL, pretty much standard response to the mortar. Grenadiers following up the rifleman here up close. And down here we got the rifleman swinging westwards. Second MD42 following up. Whoops, my apologies there. Trying to manage a hyperactive kitten while casting can be a bit tricky. MD42 shifting up. You don't want to push it too close. I'm taking up with the rifleman right there. They can do a lot of damage to the machine before they get any shots back. Plus, that's just going to be a further target there to the mortar, which again I am largely anticipating here. So, best prepared and not positioning my machine gun too far ahead. Second machine is going to push up here, and there's going to be some troops securing territory along the line. I could also consider soon some telemines if it can maintain control of the area here to do so sufficiently safely without tipping off my opponent, though so far none of that is happening. More Grenadiers pulling up here, mortar firing down the church, and of course with that I definitely know there's a mortar. Could always be a bit of uncertainty, but at some point I was pretty much expecting it. Rifleman up and caught with them before trying negative cover, quick repulsed. The Americans here just try to breach the centre of the map. They're not so concerned with the flanks, except for that one small rifle squad over here. And just sort of being dragged into this. Rather than being forced back. Mortar, they're also pretty close to the front line. Going to open up a machine gun here. Back here, Grenadiers not reinforcing, going for fast tech here, since I kind of realise I want something a bit more aggressive in this situation. I want to be able to push with a bit more speed and with a bit more nerve. So I mean, my plan is basically go to fast tech for the light to make another company in the beginning for Panzer Grenadiers, maybe a 2-2, and that we try and push hard against the Americans. And as far as the Wehrmacht, despite being, the defensive late game faction, you have to play very aggressively as the Americans are putting them under pressure, because if they get to pull ahead, they can very quickly snowball you, and you usually do not want that. So usually, as far as I'm concerned, you play aggressively versus the Americans, you just put up pressure and you just keep hitting away there. Mortar coming on the fire from the MD42, Grenadiers popping in out. More Grenadiers are setting up, Pioneers moving back to take up. And we got Lieutenant already up here as well for VindictaL. Machine guns opening up on the mortar and the nearby rifleman. He's sending the RPMs run down to one MD42. And there you go, blasting away at the mortar, which is actually keeping her under despite and being under fire from the machine guns. But oh well. In the right side, we got these as the rifle moving up. Hang on, Basil is at it again. A very naughty kitten. Machine gun there as the rifle in there, low on health, so should consider pulling it back soon. And there you go, forced out. And then pulling back the machine gun. Or at least that is what I thought. For some reason the order never went through. Been having some issues with input delay, which results in me losing units like this. It's a very annoying issue, as I'm sure you can imagine. Other times units just, or the wrong units get the order, but in this case, despite being ordered to retreat, for some reason the order never went through, and that of course left me with one machine gun short and my opponent getting an MG42, so I was a bit annoyed with that. But there we go, 2-2 on the way, bunker up as well, heal up the troops, switching towards the western field to defend that for the time being. The loss of the MG4 of course was rather big and rather unpleasant. Of course a big boost to the opponent, who now has the lieutenant, the rifle, the mortar and a machine gun. That's going to be quite the challenge to deal with. But there you go, 2-2 up to fight a bit more swiftly and mobily against my opponent. Give me a bit more sort of ability to react and maybe sort of slow them down a bit. Pioneers and westwards. Going to do bring up the supported by the MG42. Rifle never entered the point neutral. Got the 2 mountain catching the MG42 on the flank. Running straight up the centre here, where much to my luck he's got absolutely no rifles, so none with the anti-tank rifle grenades. Lastly, flashing away all of his units. Opening the centre up here. Rifle in pursuit here by the grenadiers. MG42 coming up as well. A shootout there. 2-2 managing onwards, rolling around aggressive, looking for any targets to just sort of push away with its autocannon crouch machine gun, roaming about like a raider. And there you go, first Panzer gun squad on the way there for the German army, the elite Panzerlehr Panzer Division. Cat continues to be very naughty. Continues to attack the headset wire. And now it attacks my hand, which is less likely to get electrocuted, at least I hope so. So yeah. Basil, very lovely kitten, though rather hyperactive, and also gets very aggressive when it comes to its food. Rather than there was the 2 anti-aircraft attack on the way there for VindictaL and the 3rd Armoured Division. Got bazooka teams up, of course, help deal with the light vehicles. Got another 2 on the way here for a bit more rabid mobile play. Some of these there being overwhelmed in the centre, MG42 holding up as well. He's trying to. Anti-aircraft attack halfway down here. They got the Panzer gun ramming here. Lieutenant firing at the 2-2. And there you go, Panzer was closing on the Lieutenant, doing some damage here in the centre. Machine gun this loading overwhelmed. Need to fall back soon. In the right side, we got a bit of harassment here for the German army. And there you go, Lieutenant push back. Panzer grenadiers are somewhat successful. A machine gun there, the repulse, and far west we got a bit of close threatening harassment. Panzer gun's going to creep up here, going to try and push forward, and there you go, catching the machine gun off guard with a nice flank. Also got rifle nearby here. Going to try and clear it out with a bang grenade, though of course in this situation I'm not going to be able to get back with him, particularly not want to lose a Panzer grenadier squad, but still can do some damage here. I can slow down further expansions on because he's going to try and recruit obviously, and that's going to require some infantry unit being depleted for a bit. Right from here dealing with the 2-2. The 2 of course trying to do its best here. Second one awaiting repairs, troops reinforcing back to base. Rifling down to 2 men, and there you go, forced away by the Leichte Panzerspielwagen. Striking down the Americans. In the far east we got the Grenadiers to continue on the very own seize the point in the far east. You know, it's very nice over here. Yeah, there's no Americans. So it really improves most things in life, I find. Back here, Panzer's going to need some reinforcement and healing. 2-2 almost good to go. That's going to give me double 2-2s. We got the half-track setting up here in the centre. Bazooka's up. I'm a bit sad I wasn't able to get on telemines in time here for the centre. They've been pretty great here. If could catch up the half-track for that, particularly due to the way the map is built. Around the centre, telemines here pretty powerful. And since I'm up against an American player, light vehicle is very much a given. Minesweepers on the hand aren't necessarily. We're going for the second Panzer Grenadier squad here. because Panzer Grenadiers are good, and I'm starting to think that Panzer Grenadiers are in fact really good, whereas the Americans, to a degree at least, better than just going for a bunch of Grenadiers. The other troops moving up here, trying to flank with St. County Lieutenant, and immediately opening up with a full fury of, well, a scout car patrol, hammering over the cracks of machine guns and the auto cannons, half going up, and the 2-2s swiftly vanish away. And on the west there, we got one Panzer Squad there sneaking up with their Sturmgewehr 44, modifying the MD-42. That mortar is definitely a bit of a nuisance. They're nothing critical either, at least at the moment. Repositioning a few elements there. Sometimes one consider taking up. And depending on the situation, I could find myself going for mobile defense, calling the Puma here to counter the half, take a bit more confident. Double 2-2s can struggle dealing with it, simply due to its high mobility and high firepower. Of course, the case in this case has got a bazooka team backing it up, making it even difficult for the double 2-2s. We don't really do enough damage. Lightning equals fast enough from the two of them. I think to really do it confidently, so I could find myself being forced to go for mobile defense here. And there we go. I do end up going for it, basically figuring I'm gonna need that Puma. Just one, I'm not going to try and just spam them. I still want StuGs and other things, because in the longer term that's going to be better. There we go, grenade off. He dodges this more or less right as it goes off. They somehow managed to avoid it. Bit cheeky there. And as they're close being wiped out, pushed them too far, to be honest. Should retreat them sooner. And there we go, got the Puma out. Over here, Panzer, they're pushing back the riflemen. 2-2s backing them up. Panzers need to retreat by their very low on health. And there we go. No point in, pushing the Panzers on their breaking point. And there you go, gunners about to get wiped up. We got Rangers out here for VindictaL. BAR's up for the rifleman as well, increasing his firepower, of course, immensely. So there we go, Grenadiers kind of wasted me. I should have retreated them much sooner. Got the 2-2 and the Puma moving in here. Trick, of course, are going to be catching up to it and taking it out. The Panzerdivision Ballet did have access to Pumas, most Panzer divisions did not, since they weren't actually produced a lot of Pumas. That's a fun fact. But there you go, shoots and misses the half-track there. Also going for counter-attack tactics, which allows to grab territory faster. Second shot from the Puma also misses. Got the 2-2s there rolling through the cemetery, trying to take it out. Realize they're getting blasted active. Realize if we shoot them down first with the Puma backing up there, this shouldn't be too much of a problem. There you go, Riechon's wiped. Got the half-track as well. Going to lose at least one 2-2 here though, which is unfortunate, but still I got the anti-aircraft half-track and I got the re-echelon. I mean, double 2-2s can actually do a surprisingly large amount of damage, given them, a bit of good focus there. Of course, again, it is expensive. Still, quickly popping out here with some smoke, leaving the area in the center. And in the far east, I've been using this diversion in the center with the armored vehicles to then launch an infantry assault to clear the southern fuel point. Also following up with Ostrom, just to gain more infantry, because the overall key to mobile defense is realizing you have to play very mobile, and that if you want to go widely across the map so you can try and sneak about. And in this regard, counter-attack tactics, Ostrom can allow you to gain so much more map control easily. In this case, I actually get really lucky. Both my Ostrom squads get like machine guns, so I'm quite pleased with that one. Rather than pushing forwards, but under heavy fire, we got machine guns, Panzers moving forward, they're wrapping out in the open, there's the Pumas, everything, and they quickly realise they got to get the hell out of there. Far up north, Pioneers as the Rangers here. No Thompson's up here though for VindictaL and the 3rd Armoured Division yet. So there you go, Panzer was already close to Veteran 2, doing a good job there for Deutschland. 2-2 need repairs. I can now begin consider taking up there. Got the Puma, got the 2-2, maybe a pack forward, but I was going to recently get away with going for the next bit of armour. Plus, I got control of both fuel points, so with this forced composition, I'll be able to get somewhere. They'll maybe want to consider backing up with a mortar. As for VindictaL, you need to be a bit more mindful of how he attacks. Yes, in that sense, not the biggest flanker, which is something I tried to exploit by hitting his flanks and just outmaneuvering him. Basically trying to avoid any engagements I can't necessarily fight, which of course isn't easily done on all maps. Some maps are really small and clustered, which tends to make them a bit of a bastard to deal with Americans on. But this one is a bit more open, a bit more wide. Despite a lot of people complaining about North Semoisky, it's because they tend to go through here and then get stuck around here rather than using the rest of the map, which is rather what I'm trying to do, as you might be noticing. Also up to occupy the other house, light machine gun is flying away, got mortar fire raining down, machine gun backing up here, Puma shifting about. Panzer Grenadiers though are nowhere near. Oh, they're down in the flank. There you go, bun grenade off, but he spots it and doesn't really lose a lot. But they're still pulling up close here. There you go, Lieutenant out Nobel's the veteran 2 Panzer Grenadiers. Casualties are swiftly piling up. Riflemen are repulsed. Light machine gun here and heavy machine gun pushing back the riflemen here. Heavy skirmishing, but ultimately VindictaL and the 3rd Armored Division cannot pull through with his infantry. The German defenders are too dug in. Yeah, so those Americans, it's like they never heard of flanking. Yeah. I actually wonder if they have it in the dictionary. Probably not. They probably have bacon in there instead. But bacon starts with a B. Tells that to the Americans. Still no take over there though for VindictaL, and there we go, moving on. And we got the take over there for VindictaL for the 3rd Armoured. I mean, obviously there's going to be a purging down the road to an extent. Of course, I'm planning for that, which is also why I'm not relying on Puma solely. I am taking head for StuGs because I know if I just, rely solely on the Puma, I'm going to get punished badly. Because that does not deal with Pershings too efficiently unless they get really, really lucky, and VindictaL plays with it like he's got a broken arm. Thompson's on the way, but versus the Panzer Grenadiers with assault rifles, that's just not going to be fast enough here. Got the 2 to do the Austrian in the final round. Here, machine gun joining in as well. Smoke's in there trying to launch an assault. In this case, the machine gun was actually up here, which was a bit lucky for him, I guess. Just good setup there by him. Either way, the smoke machine doesn't work out. Lots of troops getting shot at still, though. Got incendiary armor now just to increase the damage. One thing I'd certainly like leaving is using incendiary armor rounds and machine guns as much as possible, because it really just increases damage, which allows you to gain up veterans fast, and of course it just hurts the Americans really hard. Fast off, got the Austrian there as the lieutenant, goes in there up close and ugly. Austrian doing what they can, but sadly it is just not enough, and they will be forced to fall back. Mortar getting veteran T2, got mortar around of course now. Eine Granatenwerfer. There you go. 2-2 with Puma supporting him to deal with them. Note the cracks machine gun of the Puma can actually deal with infantry decently. Does tend to think get a bit underestimated. So Puma of course shall be built here for the Panzer. Meanwhile he's just focused on the centre. Again there's no big movements to gain control of either fuel point. He's very much focused on them. I'm obviously more than keen to let him keep up with that. I mean, if you don't want to see him move into here, we can sort of, shoot at them reasonably safely, though, of course, to an extent, if you can do, and well, it can be difficult to get him out, but I'll still be getting more fuel, which means I'll be getting more tanks. Rangers pulling up, the Austrian there might have to fall back. Mortars should definitely get out of there before they get sprayed with lead. And there you go, VindictaL pulls through the Panzer centre, crumbles away. Leaving the armoured cars in the south a bit exposed with no infantry support. But we got the Panzers then forming up a larger Panzer Grenadier platoon, ready to sweep through the Yankees. Two Puma falling back. Panzer Grenadier moving about, and we got infantry with the machine gun backing up. There goes a Puma already. In this case, I might go for a Panzer IV first, basically figuring with all the fuel I've got, plus the major infantry he's taking, I shouldn't have to worry about a Pershing right away, so Panzer IV I think would be initially a good choice. Fights for his infantry, any armour he might get. And if he does go for the Pershing anyways, I'm not completely buggered as long as it gets his StuGs. But there you go, Puma, 2-2 pushing back the rifleman, doing some damage there. And of course, when he gets the point here, with the point here secured, he can't get it back right away. At least he can get the fuel into his holes. So there you go, put forward there, Austrian supporting the rifleman, getting blasted. Popping the anti-tank rifle grenade. Great there, but doesn't really stop the vehicles, and he can't really finish it off. It just means that because of pioneers, they'll just get it fixed. Fired up here, reactions outnumbered as the Austrian Grenadiers. Light machine gun fire, raking the poor bastards. In the far west, we got pioneers about to encounter a command cadre here from VindictaL. The major and the lieutenant making a major move. There you go, Panzer IV on the way, they're getting blasted by heavy light machine gun fire. Machine gun there, by the way, needs to be better positioned. Panzer IV on the way. Slowly getting that Panzer IV. As for VindictaL, we're seeing no immediate sort of signs of anything else. No armour. No additional infantry. No support. No nothing. There you go, bomb grenade off, Lieutenant. Oh, barely retreats in time here. 70 kills on one, 4 on the others. We got artillery called in here by VindictaL, trying to break up my telegram in the fuel point here. He, of course, wants to stall me from getting too much fuel, as he probably is beginning to realise I'm getting more fuel than he is, which means I'm going to be slightly pulling ahead there. Which is generally the goal as the Valmet is you get tanks up before they do, because they get tanks up before you do, you're in trouble. Usually. At least enter a much rougher rather than get the tank out ahead. You usually stand, I think, a much better chance of the Valmet, though of course you still can't get overconfident because the Americans can still very easily punish you. Allied pushed away in the west. Back here, healing enforcement going on. Grenadiers, Ostrom, lots of leichte Maschinengewehre. Technically, the Ostrom would not have been getting their hands on any MG42s. They were likely to be handed MG34s or something older. That's a quick note there. And even then, we say they represent, you know, third or fourth rate troops. They still wouldn't be getting MG42s, but again, MG34s are something older. There you go. Draft forces, the Panzer getting ready. 2 bomb grenade there certainly has an impact. The light covers also coming out. In this case, rather than already taking too much damage from the Panzer Grenadiers, actually forced away. Certainly displaying what a well-used Panzer Grenadier squad can actually do to actually stop them. I mean, 2 rifle squads with BARs stopped by a Panzer Grenadier squad with a 1 bundle grenade. So, you know, also cover, of course. So that's certainly something worth keeping in mind with Panzer Grenadiers. I see a lot of players saying, oh, they're not that good. But to be honest, well-used Panzer Grenadiers are actually pretty good. And there you go, counter-attack tactics again. Great ability as well. A lot of players who go for mobile defense tend not to use it, but it really just allows you to push hard on the map, which is really important versus the Americans. And again, we want to deny them every shred of resources. Every shred. Insane appears opening up in the flank, very good. Hitting the fuel point here in the south, again denying him fuel. And we can see the VindictaL is going for the Jackson tank destroyer. That certainly means the post is going to be certainly further off the line. Though of course, it's going to be giving my arm a bit of a harder time. On the other hand, my Panzer Grenadiers will not have to worry about that. It's got Mortifier then against machine gun in the south. They've got the major move against the Ostrom. Victory points wise, so he's ahead of me. I've not been very good to harass up here though. That is a bit of my mistake. Down to 200 versus his 485. And down to less than 200. Now we got rifling up here for the fuel point. Ostrom doing what they can inside the house.
Tank destroyer is ready for orders.
And the tank destroyer is ready. Here we got the 2 moving up here with the lieutenant. Got 9 kills there. Panzer Grenadiers arriving as well to support. And the lieutenant is forcefully repulsed there. Simply lacking the firepower to deal with that many German soldiers. There you go, smoking going off in the front of the assault. Very good play there by VindictaL. Rather than still taking heavy damage from mortar fire. Of course, got the Puma machine guns and everything. I'm trying to stop them back. Mortar does need to get out of there. In this case, it's just not fast enough. Mortar gets wiped in the face of all these Americans. Machine getting ready to fire there. Not targeting the Rangers though. Probably the incendiary armor pistol rounds. I'm not too worried about grenades due to them being in heavy cover, which negates a lot of the damage from grenades. Jackson running up. He reveals himself directly on the Puma. And as you might notice, not moving, which is something I actually ordered it to. And then it gets a bit weird because occasionally the pathing gets weird. In this case, I get lucky and the Jackson just barely misses it. Got the Sturmgeschütz ready here for Deutschland. If I can find it, there we go. Jackson running a bit about on its own, a bit risky there to be honest. By VindictaL, bit risky. Panzer going to do the healing, reinforcing very close to the hero level here. Vet 73 not too far off. Which of course just really makes the mean versus infantry. Again, I cannot reiterate enough, Panzer Grenadiers are actually pretty good if you know how to use them. Particularly if you know how to flank with them. A couple of Panzer Grenadiers arriving at the right time can do some heavy damage to infantry. They also have a good chance of wiping out units on retreat, which is really what you want to be doing. Now that's mostly off here. Mostly seems to be to confuse me, and maybe he's got some plan there, although he doesn't seem to be acting on. Far west, we've got Panzer down there and grabbing the point here. Armour moving out, no pin button machines yet here for armour. Panzer for my StuG, a bit of a mistake on my behalf to be honest. There's his lieutenant, Panzer's moving up, Panzer 4, should choose to go hang back, and there you go, big flank here, big mistake on me to be honest, exposed my flank here, in a pretty much very obvious manner at that too. Returning white though, which is a small victory, but right now there's a Jackson firing at my flank alongside a lot of angry bazooka men. Almost crossed from the Panzer IV. Puma is starting to get there. Mortar overwhelmed again, wiped out. Stug fires, gets the Jackson, Puma up here on the flank. Target weak point going off, and there we go. Makes it a bit harder for the Jackson to fire back, which gives him maybe a bit of a chance to take it out. In the south, Panzer they're advancing with Grenadier support. The Panzerlehr's final Soldaten doing what they can here. Reactions repulsed. Stug, Puma here going for that Jackson tank so if they can. Jackson shoots, misses. Stug, on the other hand, does not miss. Back here, troops reinforcing Western field when they're secured by VindictaL's brave GIs. Stug, they're trying to get out as fast as possible. Didn't quite work out fully there. I'm going to need more Pioneers to repair all my stuff, but we only got one Pioneer squad to fix it. A Puma, a 2-2, a Stug, and a Panzer IV. That is just utterly inadequate. I believe it's also at this page I began to realise, oh goodness, I've been doing that thing I really tell people not to, which is get too focused as a northern player on this spot. But obviously in this case, it was sort of more of a slower progress. I sort of started out here and then slowly somehow transitioned towards the eastern side. On the bright side, they say I'm actually trying to flank deeper around the eastern attack solely through here. By the way, I'm still in a bad spot. Pioneers what? Because I repaired in a really bad spot. There's I got punished. My own bloody fault. Damage into the Stug. I'm just trying to get stuff to sort of hang together, but it's just so much has to be done, and I'm just stuck in getting my units to do what I want to do. And we go, good hit there by the Panzer IV and the advancing riflemen. And again, counterattack tactics allows me to seize territory faster. I mean, it's a really good ability, in particular for how cheap it is. 35 munitions, you can quickly grab a point as soon as you enter neutral, is really, really good.
The enemy is overrunning one of our
So there we go. Suddenly, that fuel's going to be mine very fast. So again, really good ability, and I do feel like it's underestimated. Grabbing the bazooka here with the Panzer Grenadiers because I really don't want them to get it back. Plus, you know, a bit of extra anti-tank firepower could never hurt. I mean, they are veteran defeat Panzer Grenadiers. That's still going to be a lot of anti-tank firepower. The bazooka is just going to help it, you know, in either situation. Quick bound grenade here. Quite the throw there by Otto. And almost gets another Eastern squad there. Almost, but not quite. Either way, I've managed, as you might notice, to grab almost all of the other maps. It's actually pretty isolated in the center there, which again means I'm getting more fuel than VindictaL here. I'm still far behind on victory points. But if I can build up a sizable force, I can theoretically at least crash him with it. Actually, I've just got now too many units. I actually can't get my second Stug out, though. There we go. It somehow still ends up happening. But now I'm at full pop cap. So I need to slightly begin changing priorities here. Up north, Panzer's then encountering a very hostile American welcoming party and just decides they got better places to be. Places with schnapps and less angry Americans. VindictaL, again, as you might notice, is not getting very close to Pershing anytime soon. Again, the extreme fuel control here I'm exerting ensures that I'm getting the long-term advantage here, which of course, though certainly I can't keep relying forever, but it certainly allows me to have a better chance of building up superior armoured numbers to just crush him like an insect, theoretically. There we go, though. Jackson pushing ahead here, Austin taking fire, 2-2, Puma, Stug all nearby. Other Stug moving in, Panzer IV need repairs. Oh, there you go, going for it. He's trying to. Mortified, they're almost taking out the route squad. Jackson pushing ahead, him trying to bait him into sort of a movement there that is going to be less advisable. And there you go. Direct hit from the Stug and the Puma. Other Stug could also join in, except for the smoke which is in the way. And there you go, another hit there. Almost got the Jackson bazooka team moving forwards. Almost got it there, but sadly not quite. There you go, Reason taking fire from the mortar. Stug pulling back, Puma getting linked into Stug number 2 moving in. Machine remains here with the mortar nearby. Far up north here. Panzer Grenadier flashing out the Americans with the fuel. Rangers there getting blasted by the Grenadiers. Got the quick rifle grenade trying to take out the Rangers. He does notice it and fall back. Very good reaction there with VindictaL. Lots of vehicles need repaired before to make the push. There you go, bound grenade on the rifleman, and of course he dodges it. Still, I push finally away the Rangers as they try to push close to the Panzers, allowing their Grenadiers to flash them out. And there you go, big push here. Ostrom, Panzer moving forward, Stug's moving ahead. 2-2, Panzer IV, Puma being repaired. Aber now is the time to strike for Germany. Deutschland! There you go, Jackson wheels herself, and then the assault gets slightly called off. There we go, pop smoke, mortified on re-echelons, and when the re-echelons there close to being dead, I do believe I decided to push yet again, try and take out the Jackson, as he might be expecting me to look like be falling back. No, don't push it forward. I'm reasonably sure I did that, but oh well, also being pushed back. So a lot of repairs are needed here. Lost my grenadiers somewhere, rather unfortunately. Probably up north here to the riflemen, because the too preoccupied what's going on in the centre. But VindictaL is now getting a lot more fuel, which will allow him to push fast towards the Persian. Second Panzer on the way there. Looks like I'm going to try and build up an even larger armoured mass before making the assault. I do think we would have gotten away with it here, to be honest, with pulling through, but I tend to get rather cautious with the Americans, since one mistake and everything can just turn away, because the Americans just pack so much firepower with a decent amount of durability, which just means one mistake and you're fudged. So I know something to be mindful of, and you're usually trying to force them to make several mistakes, because that's what it requires, and then make the push. But there you go, at this stage you just basically think had enough. Lost one Stug. Puma moving ahead, Panzer Wolf needs to get moving here. Oh no, apparently not again. Bit hard to tell it due to the sheer and chaotic nature of the fight. I do know I'll make some sort of big push at some point soon, but I'm just can't quite remember. There you go, pushing out the Jackson here. Puma shoots, target weak point, stuns it up, and there we go. Now's the push. He's trying to pop the HVAP rounds, but it's going to be too late. He's getting overwhelmed, he's getting swarmed, and there we go. Destroyed engine, Jackson down, leaving him now vulnerable in the centre. Reasons out in the open. Panzer there pushed back, covered away by the machine gun here. Reasons almost getting wiped out here by the Panther IV. And there we go. Second Reasons squad wiped out, another pursuit team gone. Machine gun popping out in front of a Panther IV, getting blasted there. Second Panther IV running into the scene as well. Could get the machine gun there, which would be quite helpful for me and for Germany. And there we go, machine gun crew finally down and able to reclaim for Germany. All the way, finally flushed them out in the centre here again. I just need to get my troops up to reclaim control of it. Pioneers moving up, grabbing counterattack tactics on to again swiftly seize. Speed here, of course, is of the essence. And VindictaL on the hand is now getting very close to the Pershing. So acting a bit of a tripwire here. First line. So the spot I hate give me time so to maybe rack in time this time around for whatever comes. Machine gun setting up, actually retreating in this case because we realise it's too low on health. Can't get the other one there, unfortunately. And there you go, the Pershing arrives here for VindictaL in the 3rd Armoured Division. Partially can defend. There you go, we got 2 Ranger squads for out here for VindictaL. That is a lot of firepower. An awful lot of it. Panzer IV, he doesn't really care about the Panzer IVs, he just walks right past them. Which really should tell you something about the state of American players. Again, this is a top 100 player. Stega just walks right past the Panzer IVs. Finally takes some damage as the sort of fight goes on. Loses 1 Ranger squad Persian, those arriving. Also from there, getting blasted there, go Persian moving forward. Panzer with the bazooka moving up. Panzer IV, Stu could also move Puma maybe. StuGs actually with the damage sink him. Still trying to push back. I'm basically hoping to bait him out into the ice and then hopefully sink him, but basically none of the shots hit him out on the bloody ice. Meaning I've missed my opportunity there. Should actually begin pulling back, but I'm somehow hoping I can do enough damage. Either way, I waste my veterans to 2 Panzer IV here. But I do get the mortar. And the Pershing is down to half health. And nasty from the Pershing wipes out half of the Panzer under his squad there. But I got 2 hero level now, so it's not too bad. I could consider maybe a half victory and force my frontline troops, to be honest. That would not be a half bad idea. But right now, I got a lot of vehicles that need repairs. And I'm at down 84, and he's still at 454. Like, he's got a huge victory point advantage over me. Absolutely huge. Massive. And again, using counterattack tactics. I mean, again, it's just a great ability for seizing a lot of territory very fast. Pioneer's going to work there with the Sturmgeschütz. Now the Sturmgeschütz on the way, because I'm going to need a bunch of them to have a really good chance of stopping the Pershing somewhat consistently. Got the Panzer IV support in the centre. Mortars are blasting away there to slow down the Yankee assault. In this case, you just retreat the Panzer with distance. They're just not going to fight enough. Well, they're at low half health as all these troops. Going for the centre victory point, grabbing the northern one though with the Ostruppen. And there you go, finally got the other Stug fixed up.
Rear echelon squad ready for action.
Pershing making repairs, of course, he has to go for reassessments to get that fixed, which of course is a big advantage for me since that means he has to spend manpower on units right now. That's going to be all those fighting well west. The rest of my troops have fixed his Pershing. Right here, of course, I'm about to make the same mistake I made previously. Of course, in this case, I realised I have to rush to Rifle instead of trying to repair the 2s who are there. So it was very close there to committing a rather big blunder, which could have been quite costly for me. 32 kills on those Panther Grenadiers. 3 sent air flying there. Back here, healing reinforcement. And there you go, the Major sent away. We finally got Major repairing his Pershing. I would say repairing in the middle of the bloody ice is pretty risky. I mean, we were to say you sneak out a Puma might actually be able to sink it, so you know. A probably better place to repair your Pershing than in the middle of the bloody ice. Plans for that's going to need a ping mark machine gun. That will certainly help us all the infantry up here. Ostrom retreat. They have done their part for Deutschland. And also finding to slowly bleed him out, though it is very much slowly.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
So Fritz, how is it using an American bazooka? Yeah, it's very interesting. In the same way that, you know, rocks in your boot are interesting. Ah, I get what you mean. Yeah, it's so weird. Everything's in Imperial units rather than the metric system. Machine gun under fire here from the Panther 4 pumps, they're being suppressed here. StuGs, boom here ready. Pershing finally good to go, and we got more counter-attack tactics course going on because it's a great ability that's cheap.
Tactical point being captured.
Pershing moving ahead here. And moving up the StuGs and the Puma to try and blast the blasted thing into ruin. If possible, though of course the terrain here makes it slightly difficult for him. But there you go, several hits in the Pershing. Puma flanking, StuG also. More shots fired. Most shots missed there. And a lot of infantry moving up, preventing from actually pursuing it further. We got the Panther moving in here. And there you go, machine guns pressing also Yankees. They advanced 17 kills per on that machine gun. Sehr gut. We got the 2-2 joining in. They're taking a nasty hit from the Pershing, gaining it. Veterans who1. Of course, as soon as they had a chance to move ahead there, we also got the rear stemming about. Lots of bazookas up there once more for VindictaL. And there we go. So hits, they get another target weak point there, make it a bit hard for the Pershing to react. And it quickly escapes once more. Full pursuit here. StuGs, Puma, Panzer IV, you name it. Just rolling ahead here. Grenades off. Panzer moving to support here is about to get wiped out, maybe on retreat. There we go. Something looks to be dying. And the mortar crew finally bites the dust there. Rifle's been taken out across the ice, and there you go, pulling forward here with the Rangers and the Major under the watchful eyes of the Panzer IV. Not necessarily the best move there by VindictaL. Not necessarily the best move. So I got an Ace Puma and got an Ace 222. Back here, healing reinforcement. Could consider command tank just to make it a bit hard for them to just, you know, rush at me straight on. Since their tactics will find less purchase and my units also take less damage, plus again versus the Pershings, any armor he might get. Again, just a little edge I can gain there might just be useful. So I end up going for the command tank. Also helps versus infantry, which I figure is not bad either. Of course, it does again put me in full pop cap, but at this stage you got plenty of resources to consider other things like maybe, you know, some machine gun bunkers to make it hard for him to rush, which is generally not a bad idea. Rangers moving up there, hero level as well. 13 kills on those Panzer Grenadier. So there you go, Puma being fixed up, 6 kills, 11 kills, 2, 0. We'll have to see if VindictaL goes for more armor, but another Jackson might be an idea, or maybe some Shermans to back up. Rest of the infantry could be an idea. But I'm wagering he's going to go for the Jackson. We've sort of considered so far playstyle here. Command tank moving in there and successfully routes the Rangers. There you go, Major moving up in the flank and encounters the Panthers hiding around the ruins of the church. A not very welcome party for any Americans. There you go, Pershing Barley's halfway to Veteran 2. And of course, more counterattack tactics, because it's great. At this stage, in fact, I've pretty much used every ability in the doctrine, achieving full bingo, compared to the VindictaL has used this, and this. He's not been using combined arms, and I don't believe he's been actually using the off-map smoke barrels. But there you go. Jackson on the way there for VindictaL, as expected. VindictaL just, again, pushing straight for the centre. Doesn't try to outmaneuver, doesn't try to attack from any other angle. He just pushes head on, which of course makes it easy for me to defend to an extent. Also doesn't bother recruiting that mortar. With most of my armour now fixed up, I'm actually going to build a machine gun bunker around here to help defend the centre victory point. I imagine at some point near its future. Punch with this sweeping about. And then go machine gun bunker up. 2-2 dealing with the echelons. So there you go, digging in. I mean, if you've got this many spare resources, machine gun bunkers are a pretty good investment, particularly if you have some points you really need to defend and your opponent likes to rush head on with infantry, because while, say, a large amount of American infantry rushing head on and an MD-42 can actually have a chance of clearing it out, they can't really do that with machine gun bunkers. The machine gun bunker does tend to be helpful versus those particular types of tactics. Also be rushing over here to the east and build up another machine gun bunker to defend the eastern victory point at the very least. So there we go, VindictaL seems to be setting up for another head-on assault. He doesn't seem to consider any other avenue of attack. So there you go, assault going forward, straight to the skirmishes. And the machine guns, plenty of them. And of course mortar fire, which of course has a good chance of hitting his pinned down troops. And of course all this is backed up with the command tank, which means his units find less purchase against my own, on top of everything else. Far west here, hitting the fuel point. Then we got Rangers crew, got Panzer with Panzer 4 moving up as well. And got the light vehicles running about here in the south. Bit of skirmish up here. Major push back. Panzer with Panzer 4 support moving up. I mean, see, in this case, VindictaL realises he might have a chance of getting the Panzer 4. Of course, I realised without that university, I'm actually baiting him out from here, which I realise is actually a mistake because I got nothing to capitalise on this, at least ready for it. So this is actually a bit of a tactical error by me. Had I actually set it up for actually, baiting him out, that would have been great. Could actually the StuGs waiting about here, then once again going for the Panzer 4, could then rush in the StuGs maybe with the Puma as well. But in this case, I'm not ready at all. I just, figured I'd make a big push without realising he's going to, try and slam that down with everything he's got. And now he's going to make use of it because suddenly he realises, oh, he's actually at my flanks. He's now going to hit my flank. So I basically managed a double mistake here rather grievously. Going to quickly focus on the Jackson since it's out on the ice. Again, small chance of him getting up, plus it's less armoured. So to get rid of that first, I kind of figured out the chance there, then focusing down the Pershing. And go Jackson down. Pershing trying to escape, Veteran 2 by the way. Good hits there. Command tank, I saw a few hits, we got restarting up, but they immediately kind of fire here from the machine gun Gewehr. Pershing down to very little health, got the streak going forward here. Target weak point being attempted. Puma dodges a shot. Still misses though. Troops then move forward again, straight into the machine guns and the machine gun bunker. You'd figure by now he'd realise head-on assaults like this are not going to work out remotely. But seems like VindictaL here is a bit of a Soviet streak and just orders his men forwards. Command tank takes a hit here. Pershing the very long health, rushing forward. Puma about to go down. Misses the Puma though at that range. Impressive. And there you go, troops repulsed here. StuG trying to creep forward. Gets good in the Pershing. Both are almost Veteran 3 by the way. "24 kills, 6 kills, 5 kills. And there you go, finally realised of course I had the 2-2 on the flank, which could have maybe done a bit of extra damage there somehow. 17 kills in that one by the way. And there you go, might finally go down here to the Pershing. Of course, the chance now my StuG getting the Pershing. Shot bounced. Shot bounced again. Pershing on the hand misses the Stug.
Armor here.
Another Sturmgeschütz. The Panzer remains in control of the centre now with the machine gun bunker. And everything else, they are not going to get pushed out too easily. Of course, we got the other machine gun ready here in case any tries to rush that point. So far, it's not really displayed a lot of interest on the flanks for the most part. And mostly sort of extends towards here, but he's very much sort of shows a narrow-minded in that respect. Very much sort of tunnel visioning.
We're losing a capture point.
Veteran 3 mortar. Panzers there operating in unison to secure the western point here. 39 kills. Panzergrenadier on watch, and they're going to attempt to act as somewhat flank, but that's actually the Major, and the Major runs into the Panzer IV, which is not too keen on him being there. It's causing artillery around the centre. Pushing up for the centre, unit wiped out. Up here we got Panzer firing with the Riflemen, almost getting hit wiping the Rifle. We got the Rangers moving in, though again there's two Panzergrenadier squads, both of which are Veterans 3. That is very much a mismatch engagement here for the Rangers, even if they have 21 kills. Panzer's got 42 and 15 respectively. In the centre of the assault continues up. You got the Stug coming in here, blasting away the one not fully repaired here. Boom flank in here. Stug goes down to it. The bazooka team backing it up. Machine gun back to Sandy wasn't far enough. Command tank there moving up as well. We got more range on the way here from VindictaL. Puma flanks here with target weak point. And there we go. Blinds it. Stug firing at the person in the front. We got an ace level person, but now it's just moving about blindly and sending out piercing rounds to take out the ace Puma. Pershing's main gun is firing down Panzer IV going through here. VindictaL's forces are being slaughtered, and there we go. Game over. The 3rd Armoured is repulsed. Destroyed by the German army. A brutal fight here. Certainly, I would say personally highlighting the power of the Panzergrenadier and what they can do when well handled. Again, they did a ton of damage. They really, I think, carried the fight there a lot. The Stugs, of course, were also absolute wonders. And the Puma actually did pretty well too on its own when well handled. I mean, obviously it certainly also highlights the mobile defense as a good doctrine, I think, to sort of pick versus the Americans. It sort of has a way to sort of help dealing with some of their worst excesses. And of course, as long as you don't fall into the trap of just constantly calling in Puma, which you can then of course get other armour to work with the Puma, which is where I think the Puma really excels, working together with Stugs and Panzer IVs. So in that regard, I was able to sort of set up. Then of course, by controlling the fuel points, I ensured I got the advantage of VindictaL, who rather focused too much on the central victory point, which rather light I could sort of build up there. Though of course, even then he was able to hold it quite efficiently. So hopefully learn some lessons from this match. Hopefully it gave some ideas for your own matches. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, share it with everyone. If you like what we do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links are in the video description. And this is ImperialDane. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for a nice running episode. Bye.